some other people might also be surprised to know that in the history of Chicago, there was no woman who ever served in the city council until 1971, when two women were elected, Anna Langford and Mary Lou McCarthy Headland. Jane went on to have a rather tumultuous 4 years in office, and then she was defeated in the Democratic primary by Harold Washington, who went on to win the general election and serve for 4 years, a transitional time in Chicago politics when Chicago went from being a municipal government dominated by machine politics to a independent political atmosphere. Richard J. Daley and then George Dunn presided over the last of the big city political machines. It was downhill from that point on. Harold, of course, died suddenly in December of 1987, leading to a one-week term for David Orr, who's now continues to be our city clerk. And then the night of December 2nd, 1987, another historic night when the council met all day and all night till 4:02 a.m. in the morning and saw the election of Gene Sawyer, who then was defeated by Richard M. Daley in 1989, who continues to serve now and will be in a few months the longest serving mayor in Chicago history. Again, had the privilege of being elected to occupy the same office that his dad did, which I think he is very proud of. He's recognized all around the nation as probably the best big city mayor in America, but now is confronting some real tough times. The economy and some of the other changes in governance in Chicago present a real challenge.
You mentioned Blanchette and the snowstorm. I mean, is it truly as simple as being able to scoop the snow and pick up the garbage that can determine a political future in Chicago?
Municipal politics is where the rubber meets the road, and that's where constituents expect that the police are going to come when they're called, the fire department's going to come and rescue people in fires and in medical emergencies. It's where the street lights have to work, where the roads have to be paved that provide the infrastructure and the ability for people to get jobs and to earn a living, and very, very importantly, where education has to work. And that's been a real challenge in Chicago historically, but there has to be great credit given to Mayor Richard M. Daley, who assumed personal responsibility for Chicago schools when he got the legislature to change the way the school board is selected and to grant more authority to the mayor of the city than the mayor had in previous administrations. So schools in Chicago are improving. They're not at a point where anybody is satisfied. And we just today in the Finance Committee voted an $800 million bond issue for school purposes. And I think most people agree that education is the key to everything in major cities.
Put you on the spot a little bit. Who carries more weight, Mayor Daley or the governor of the state of Illinois?
Traditionally in Illinois politics, believe it or not, there's only one Chicago mayor who has ever been the governor of Illinois. Mayor Edward Dunn, who was elected governor of Illinois in 1912, and that's because of the boisterous Republican convention in 1912 where Teddy Roosevelt lost his comeback bid and set the stage for Woodrow Wilson to be elected, because Teddy Roosevelt ran as an independent on the Progressive Party, known more popularly as the Bull Moose Party. and as a result, splitting the Republican Party that permitted Mayor Dunn to win as a Democrat in our state. Also interesting to know, the only Catholic up until now to serve as governor of Illinois.
In the news recently, politics has been given a black eye, especially in Illinois, with some of the things that have been going on with Illinois governors, past governors especially. Is politics still an honorable profession, basically?
It is. Unfortunately, we have a great record of giants in American politics who served as governor of Illinois, from Adlai Stevenson to Jim Thompson to Jim Edgar to so many honorable people who put the needs of the people of the state of Illinois above their own personal agenda. It's, I think, increasingly hard for parents to encourage their children to get involved in active politics because of the nastiness and the bitterness and the mean-spiritedness that not just the candidate has to suffer, but the candidates or the office holders' family. I guess when we walk through this magnificent museum and see what Lincoln had to put up with, the bitter, vituperative kinds of things that were said about him and his family, we shouldn't be surprised at American politics. But one would think that with the passage of time, our fellow citizens would become more sensitive to what this republic needs to be about, and we need to be more about issues than about personalities.
Will it come full circle again? Will we get back to that point?
One would hope so, although what we see every day wouldn't give me great confidence that that's going to happen. Once again, though, I could go back and read you the phrase from the 1860 Republican platform and ask you, in this sesquicentennial year, are we not still arguing about the same things we were arguing about 150 years ago?
If there was one thing you were to leave the audience with tonight regarding the 1860 convention, the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's GOP nomination, what is the most important thing that we think that we can draw from that today?
I think that we should always honor our heroes, that we should always appreciate the brave women and men that have served in our armed forces, who have permitted us to gather in this magnificent structure tonight to talk about what has happened in history, that there will always be men and women who will rise to the occasion, that will assume the mantle of leadership at critical junctures in our nation's history, that although our system is flawed, it's the greatest system of governance that has ever been devised by mankind. And we are a government of laws, not a government of personalities. And that compassion and truthfulness and courage are the kinds of human qualities that will always ensure that this nation will continue to be the greatest nation in the history of mankind.
Well said.
And God bless America.
God bless America. Edward M. Burke.
Thank you.
Inside the Wigwam, Chicago Presidential Conventions, 1860 to 1996. And Ed will be signing books at the conclusion of this program. We'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening. It's been fascinating listening to you talk about the conventions, and we hope you won't be a stranger.
Thank you, David. I'm delighted to be invited, and if it wasn't for Julie Cellini, I wouldn't be here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.